My name is Cynthia Jackson from Oakland, California. I am a victim of family court corruption. I have a family law case that went on for 9 years, starting October 2002 until September of 2011. And actually until 2012. I started out, my case started with me filing a motion for child support. The father filed a motion for custody. We had an evaluation. The evaluator determined, primarily for financial reasons, that the father should have custody because he was more financially well off than myself. I fought my case, and I eventually made a decision to move after being evicted from the father, from our home, my daughter and myself, to move to Los Angeles. I moved to Los Angeles and on to Detroit to live with my father. The courts deemed that a kidnapping, because they were in the process of making custody decisions, had me arrested, jailed, extradited back to California, and I served 41 days, and I had a $250,000 bail, and I was instructed to I lost custody of my daughter. To date, I still haven't received the child support order that I initially, the motion rather, that I initially issued back in 2002, or that I started in 2002. After the arrest, I was convicted of felony kidnapping. I do have a felony. And the thing that I think makes my case pretty unique is the fact that the case went from the lower court to the appellate court. We lost at the appellate court level, although all of the facts supported me in the case. It was deemed a frivolous appeal that never should have happened. The father then took the case to the state bar, California State Bar, and had filed charges against my attorney. My attorney won that case, and then she took that case up to the California Supreme Court on a writ, won the writ, and the writ directed the the appellate court to come back and vacate the order for sanctions and also to reconsider the case. They instead reinstated the case and reinstated the $15,000 in awards to the father. We went on to continue to fight for custody of my daughter. The courts allowed the father to move my daughter to Indiana. They also we fought for that because there's a process in which the child is supposed to, the other parent is supposed to have an opportunity to present the case to stop that. We were denied that by the California Supreme Court. And lastly, the California Supreme Court ultimately upheld the decision of the appellate court even after granting the writ. That's all in a nutshell. Essentially, I find that the court's corruption was executed from the lower court to the appellate court and on to the Supreme Court. I find my idea of a remedy would be to have a jury in family court. It's not present. The judges have full control over what happens, and after they get the case, after the case is all messed up, then they pretty much bank on the fact that people can't afford to reverse it. Today, I do have custody of my daughter, not because the courts granted me custody, but because I continued to fight and wore the father down, and he finally gave up, and pretty much he couldn't handle the responsibility.